I'm Jen Davis. I'm the program director and director for Big Brother, Big Sister of Central Oregon. Thank you everyone for having me today. I really appreciate the opportunity to come out here and talk to you about kind of what our program is currently doing and how we are serving our youth in Central Oregon. So I have a video to show you. Looks like it's going to actually play.
When I met him and I seen him, I was like, what if I look like that when I get older?
He looks like me when I was little. So it was just cool, like almost seeing your younger self and just thinking about what was possible.
We talk about things that's just going on in our life, like feels like Eric's part of my family.
And growing up, there weren't really people in my life that I could identify as queer in the media or that I knew personally. To like intentionally form that relationship can be very powerful, I think, for both of us.
I thought it sounded completely out of my comfort zone, which is part of the reason why I wanted to do it, something different. So knowing that I'm a positive role model for my little, I feel like it means a lot more than I expected it to.
Cheryl's like a big sister to me. I don't really like talk to people a lot. I keep to myself. She's like a friend that like I never had before.
So my name is Cheryl Jones, and I have been Sammy's big for about 5 years now.
I'm Javon Dobbs, and I've been matched with Javion for a little over 2 years.
My name's Eric, and I've been matched with Levi for about 2 years. Whether it's in like books or in movies or in relationships, it's really affirming to who you are and who you want to be able to look out and see someone who's like you and know that whatever you want is possible.
I definitely wish I would have had a big growing up. Just to have somebody to just kind of take me away and do something different, and it feels really good to do something that like Sammy has never done before, and just to see how much she loves it.
I think Javion has the potential to be somebody who's very impactful, not only in his family, but in his community. Just the imagination that he has makes me proud to know that like any circumstances aren't hindering him. So I'm proud of the vision that he has for his future.
So to have representation, especially a real life person in their life who can show them what their potential is, I think that's really powerful, and I wish I had had that when I was a kid. And so I'm really excited to be able to do that with the Big Pride program.
Since I've known Eric, I've felt more comfortable in my own skin.
I don't understand the struggles that he's going through. When he talked to us about his issues, it was never a big deal at our home, but we don't know what it feels like to grow up questioning things. I just want him to be happy.
You know, I hear people say if you can see it, you can be it, right? Representation matters because we're not used to always seeing people like us do certain things. They just need that quality time, those words of affirmation to have an example and to know like I can make it.
Cheryl made it possible for me to think I could make it out of college and get a good life and a good job. I think it's because of the way that she's grown. Because like she went to college and stuff and she made it out perfect, so I want to grow up like that. I don't know, like ever since I met her, I just love school.
He's the only one that listens to me when I speak. I think it's special because I don't tell nobody else about that stuff but Javon. He's like family to me.
I've seen other organizations like, talk the talk, but Big Brothers Big Sisters has really walked the walk and lean into their values and being able to do it not only within their programming and their mentorship program, but also within their organizational structure, really challenging themselves to lean into that potential that they're seeking, to lean into equity. So I've appreciated that.
So this Video was a partner organization that we have, and I really like it because it shows our mission and it really talks about the inclusivity that we have in our organization. So Big Brother, Big Sister of America believes in 4 pillars, so that's justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. So everything that we do with our program is set around Jedi, which is perfect because it's May the 4th, so it's perfect. So a lot of companies use DEI, and we actually use Jedi, which our kids really love and identify with. Yeah.
Don't you think equity is a bit of a divisive term, and maybe equality would be a better term?
Sorry. Yes, absolutely.
Do you guys say equity or equality?
We use both, but equality, absolutely. I misspoke. Yeah, no, I misspoke.
For a lot of people, I believe in equity from here.
Sorry, it's equality, and that was just me misspeaking, so I apologize for that.
Because I heard that guy saying it too, and dude, I'm just going to be honest.
Okay. So the mission of Big Brother, Big Sister of Central Oregon is really to create and support one-to-one mentoringships that ignite the promise and power of youth. So we are identifying youth in our community, typically at-risk youth or high-risk youth who are in need of a mentor, and we are pairing them up with a well-screened, well-trained adult that is over the age of 21. So a little bit about us. We are actually a JBAR-J Youth Services Agency. So JBAR-J is the largest youth-serving organization in all of Central Oregon. They currently have 9 programs under their umbrella, and Big Brother Big Sister is one of them. So in 1994, a task force was started by JBAR-J that really they were trying to identify what was missing in Central Oregon, and it was identified mentoring was a large missing piece because Central Oregon Bend, in particular, was under 100,000 in population. Big Brother, Big Sister of America would not start a program here without us being under an umbrella agency. So JBAR-J has took on this task, and we've stayed with them ever since. And it's been a blessing for us to be under the JBAR-J family. So we currently serve youth in Deschutes, Cook, and Jefferson County. The majority of our work is in Deschutes County, from Redmond to Lapine, but we do serve kids in Cook and Jefferson County at this time. We match our youth, so they are our littles, ages 6 to 18, with an adult mentor who are their big. And their pairing is called a match. So you might hear me say the word match. Big Brother, Big Sister is the country's largest evidence-based mentoring program in the country. And in Central Oregon, to date, we've served 158 kids this year. And our goal is to serve over 227 youth. And we've really been launching into making new matches, and we've made 52 matches since December 1st of 2021, which is just a huge goal. And our goal for the year is to match 100 kids with mentors in 2022. Our numbers used to be higher, but because of COVID, we had to pivot how our services and how we worked with kids. So we are starting to see our program grow, and we grew 17% last year. So I want everyone to just think about someone in your life when you were a child or as an adult who maybe put a smile on your face. Was it a teacher, a coach, a family member, or maybe an official mentor? Someone that really made a difference in your life. My little sister is 22 now, so I have been part of the program, and I know that she has always told people that I made a big impact on her. For me, while I never had an official mentor, I really, there's one specific teacher that always stands out in my mind of someone who made a difference for me. And that's probably why I'm standing here today talking to you, because of that teacher. He was someone that believed in me, that I could actually break the cycle of how I grew up. So our programs, we have really 3 programs in Central Oregon that are funded. So the first one is the community-based program, and that's just your typical classic pairing of a child with an adult mentor. So the match spends 6 to 12 hours per month together, engaged in enrichment activities, outdoor activities, participating in school activities, homework help, and much, much more. Really, it is our goal to match a child with an adult who they can relate to, and vice versa. So if a child says, I really want to learn how to fly fish, we really want to try and find an adult mentor who fly fishes so that they have something they can have in common. We have a lot of kids who like Legos, and we can match them, or art. And we also encourage kids to try new things. So if there's something that a big is really passionate about, or vice versa, we encourage them to branch out and try those things. So, and we do have funding at times to help them engage in some of those more expensive activities, such as fly fishing. We also have a site-based program, and has been a little difficult through COVID, but we're starting to ramp it back up, and it's for a high school student. Actually mentors a little elementary school student during the school day. It actually usually takes place in the classroom or somewhere at the school. We are launching currently a site-based program with Lapine Senior Center, where we're going to do intergenerational mentoring, that we're actually going to have the kids walk over to the senior center. It's within walking distance of the schools, and actually have lunch at the senior center. So that is another option of site-based programming. And in the past, we have worked with Boys and Girls Club and actually had the same concept of a high school big who was part of Boys and Girls Club mentor a little in their program. And then we have the targeted-based program. This is really a specific program that follows the community-based program, but we target specific youth, including LGBTQ kids living in rural communities, which Redmond technically is considered a rural community, so we do put, just for grant purposes, and our focus is then Madras, Kirk County, and Lapine. Youth who have been affected by opioids or illicit substances is a large population that we serve, youth with disabilities, and youth in foster care. So we work closely with ODHS to identify youth who are in foster care and provide them a mentor. So with our program, it's really important to us that we are meeting our goals and setting high standards for our program. So we do kind of a pre and post test for our kids that enter our program, and we focus on 12 resilient factors. And we're measuring. We want to see how is our program improving their lives, and more important, how is it impacting them. So just some examples of current improvements that we are seeing with the kids in our program is 93% of youth have increased in school attendance. 96% have decreased in risky behaviors. This includes entering into the juvenile justice system, entering into RIMROC, or entering into other services. 88% of our youth have increased in social competence. 86% of youth have had academic improvements, and 85% of youth had improved parental trust. I'm happy to say that 100% of our seniors are graduating high school this year. So that is an exciting milestone for us. So a lot of people, this is what we hear every day in our office, is I'm not a saint. I can't do this. I can't be a big. I'm too busy. I've got too much going on. I'm too old to be a big, and I don't know what to do with a little. And I'm here to dispel those myths. So I was a big sister. I worked a full-time job, had a new baby at home, and I found the time. So I think anyone can find the time. I never think anyone's too old to be a big. Personally, I actually find that kids with the intergenerational mentoring actually is some of the most valuable mentoring that we see. It's really getting the wisdom, and they're able to instill some of their values, and they're talking about careers. So a lot of our kids, they need help. They need help filling out FAFSA applications, or maybe we have a big in our little that went through the program. His big was a dentist. He never thought he could be a dentist. Well, he's a dentist in bed now because his big brother was a dentist. Oh, wow. Yeah, so I'm busy too, but I think anyone can really find the time if they find the passion that they have something to give to a little brother or a little sister. What it takes is 6 to 12 hours a month commitment, and we ask for a 1-year commitment. We find that it's so important that we have consistency for our kids. We don't want adults coming in and out of their lives. So we do ask for a 1-year commitment just because so many adults in their lives are coming and going, and we want to have consistency for our kids. So, like I said, it takes 6 to 12 hours to become a defender of potential. So we believe that every child has potential, and we're just here to defend it for them. So we want to show them that they have this potential, and this is how they can reach their goals. So our littles and our bigs spend a lot of time one-on-one. It's really important to us that they are spending that one-on-one mentoring time. However, we do a lot of match activities and bring the kids together with their mentors all in a big group. Each month we offer match activities which are free for our matches. Last month we held a bowling event. This month we are holding a roller skating event at the Pavilion in Bend. We do host them in all the communities. And next month we are hosting a swimming event here in Redmond. And it's a great opportunity for our littles and bigs to get together with others. Some other things that we do is arts and crafts nights. We have a large rafting event that we do with our kids up in Waupun this summer. We'll do a climbing event at Smith Rock. We do science nights. We're really focused on STEM events. And we offer a big discount list for local businesses. So the nice thing is a lot of businesses support us. We'll actually offer kids and matches discounts. So like the Bend Rock Gym, the kids get to go for free, and the big is half off. So it really gives these kids opportunities to do activities that they might not otherwise be able to do. So we find that we believe that bigs come into a child's life when they're needed the most, and maybe they don't stay together forever like some of us. Like I still keep in contact with my little, but what we do believe is that when a child is most vulnerable and needing that mentorship, this big could have a serious impact and long lasting. The average match length we have is about 26.6 months. 17% of our matches have been matched over 3 years. 11 of our matches have been together over 5 years, and 22 matches have been together for over 10 years. So many of our kids, as they age out of our program, which is at the age of 21, they just say, well, this is my big sister, this is my big brother, and we're going to be family forever. So just because they're not officially tracked with us, we do believe that many continue to stay in touch for many, many years. So currently we have over 40 kids on our wait list who are waiting for a mentor. So I'm really here because we are trying to rally our community right now and show that we have many kids, especially coming out of the COVID-19 pandemic, that are in need of mentorship. So we have kids from the age of 6 to about 16 that are waiting for mentors, and that's anywhere from Redmond to Lapine. Redmond is a high need for us to get more bigs. So we have a lot of children on our wait list in Redmond. We typically see more big sisters, specifically from Bend. So that's kind of the largest big population that we see. So our focus is really to get more men into our program, more mentors in the rural counties. So we are really focused right now on getting more mentors for these kids who we consider are at risk or high risk at this point. So I have some stories to tell you because this I'd really like to leave you today. Is on the left, this is JP. And JP he is one of our staff members' son. And his mom was born in Venezuela. JP and his sister were born in Australia. And after a domestic violence relationship, they immigrated to the United States. Mom then got into, unfortunately, another domestic violence relationship that ended in litigation and restraining orders, and ultimately the family was in a shelter on the East Coast. They found their way to Lapine, Oregon, and JP, who was then diagnosed with autism, entered into a local middle school. And he was told by a teacher he would never graduate high school, that he would never amount to anything. So JP is a senior this year at Lapine High School, and I am so happy to say that he is getting ready to graduate. He has started to take IT college courses. With the help of our community partners, we have bought him a cap and gown, and we have bought him a class ring, which he wears very proudly. And this is his senior photo, which he made sure that he wore his big brother, big sister hat in. So JP was matched with his big brother, Maitreya, 3 years ago. And they are brothers. If you ask them, they are brothers. And they will be brothers forever. And Mom and JP really contribute his success to not only his family support, but really to the big brother, who was the only male figure in his life and has really helped JP overcome a lot of barriers that have been identified for this child. And I'm happy to say it looks like he's going to go to college, and he is just this bright, shining kid when he comes into our office. Like, we all love to see pictures and love when he gets to join us. Now on the right is Kelly, and Kelly is our match support specialist here in the Bend office. Kelly was a little sister. She was born into a family that was pretty abusive and neglectful. Kelly thankfully found her way into the Big Brother, Big Sister program and was matched with her big sister. Kelly was eventually removed from her family and placed into foster care. She was very worried, as was Big Sister, that they would never see each other ever again. So Big Sister did what she could and applied to be a foster parent. And Kelly's foster mom is now Mom, and Kelly's mom adopted her, and she's my hero. So Kelly's getting ready to graduate with her master's in social work next month. She works in our office part-time as a match support specialist supporting our families. She's also an intern in our office. So while this is probably not the norm, Kelly's story, I think, just shows what a difference a big sister can make. That big sister turned to Mom, and we're all excited because we actually finally get to meet her this summer during graduation, and thank her for everything that she's done for Kelly. And she's really raised an amazing, amazing daughter, and I'm really thankful to have her on my team. So I just want to thank you all. That is our program in a nutshell. And I'd love to take any questions if anyone.
Yeah. Do you have any record of littles who become bigs?
I don't, but I am working on starting an alumni program so that we can gather some of that information, because the dentist that I spoke about, he's actually getting ready to be a big in our program. And so I think it happens more often. I've met people at parties and at restaurants who were like, well, I was a little sister, I was a little brother. How can I get involved?
Are your bigs mandatory reporters?
They are. So it's really important to know that all of our bigs are mandatory reporters, which can be difficult for them. We get calls weekly. They don't want to ruin their relationship with their little, but it is very important. We do child safety training, and our number one priority with these kids is child safety. So absolutely.
So in Scouts, we talked to deep leadership. The purpose was to make sure that you just weren't left with one child alone, so that you could manage the abuse opportunities.
Yeah.
How do you address that? Because you're a one-on-one.
Yeah, that's hard. So my world is, I have extensive experience within child abuse and neglect. We do extensive backgrounds, extensive trainings. It's very minimal in our program. I understand your concern, especially I have a child in Girl Scouts, and we've always been taught not to be alone with the child. I don't really have a good answer for you, but with the training, background checks, and other, we don't see abuse occurring. One thing I can tell you is each match is assigned a case manager, such as Kelly, and they monthly check in with the big, the little, and the big's parent or guardian. And they are trained to ask child safety questions. They are trained to ask how things are going. And it is their responsibility to meet with those kids, meet with mom and dad or parent or guardian, and really ask those important questions. So I rely on my staff. They're extensively trained to ask we hope, what could be the right question.
So there is no overnights with Bigs and
No.
Littles. This is a daytime.
Correct.
Working on something, you
Yes.
would do an activity and get them to do things that they otherwise would not been able to do with their own families. So, okay, that's good to know.
There's also a policy that they cannot go to a Big's house in the
Okay,
first
good.
3 months. Any overnights have to be signed off by the director. I've signed off one time, and that was because the child was 18. But no, with my little, she eventually would come to my house. It's kind of, especially through COVID, we were seeing matches going to homes more, but no, the idea is that they're going for a hike, they're going to a restaurant, they're going rock climbing. And while they may be alone, we don't encourage people to just go spend time at the Big's house all the time.
Okay, good.
And we background check spouses.
Good.
So we are taking every precaution.
Jen, I think you said this, but again, how are the kiddos referred to the program?
Absolutely. So they're referred by a parent or guardian. FAN, so the Family Access Network, which the advocates are in the schools, are a huge referral for us. Teachers, counselors, community members, counselors at treatment centers, and kids themselves. So we've had kids just say, well, I want to have a Big Brother.
How do you interface with some of the other organizations that also provide assistance to underage youngsters? Court-appointed advocates, for example.
Yep.
Those sorts of programs. Do you interface with them at all or work with those folks?
We do. We're partners with about 30 local agencies. CASA, which you're referring to, is a huge partner for us. So we work with the Oregon Department of Human Services a lot. And we get a lot of referrals with foster youth. So we're working really closely with our CASAs as well. We work closely with FAN. The Central Oregon Latino Partnership Program is a large partner with us. Campfire. So I think it's about 30 organizations. We work very closely. We also are working closely with COPY, so the Central Oregon Partnership for Youth, which has mentors for kids with incarcerated parents, and then Friends of the Children, which is another mentoring agency. We all have the same goal. We're not here to compete with each other. We have the same goal to have happy, healthy kids in our society.
So who picks who? I mean, do you have like little videos that I could go look at and go, I like that kid?
Yeah.
Or does I'm just curious
Absolutely.
how that works.
So David is our enrollment specialist, and it's his job to know who we have in our queue. So what he does is he sets up what's called a match meeting. And basically the child, the big, and the big's parent or guardian come in, and they get to meet each other. And they get to actually have a conversation. And at the end, it's kind of like dating. Do you like each other? Okay, we think this is a good fit. Okay, we're going to move forward. And the little has as much say as the big. I'm just not so sure this is going to work. So the child has a huge say if they feel comfortable. We try and do those match meetings in the child's home, just because that is going to be their comfort place. It's where they're going to feel the most comfortable and probably show more of their real self. We often find kids are so excited once they get comfortable and get to show their favorite toy, but not every match works out at that match meeting, and sometimes it's just, I don't think we're going to be a good fit, and then we'll work on finding a better fit. We do a full assessment on our kids, really asking what do they want? Who do they see as their big? And more often than not, it works. We're kind of a matchmaking service, a little bit. It's worked.
Okay.
Thank you guys so
Well, Jen,
much.
thank you.
Really
Yeah.
appreciate
And I don't know if you have any cards.
I
but
do.
Yeah, I'd say.
I always wanted to do it.
If you guys want to reach out to Jen directly.
My wife was saying, people pay attention to me.
Yeah.
You're in band.
Or she'll say, you have to give
Get
some up.
assigned to Lapine or Redmond or.
Yeah, I should have clarified that. So we actually have an office in Redmond. We're right across from the police station. And we match Redmond bigs with Redmond littles and vice versa, unless someone is willing to travel. But we never expect the child to travel between communities. So that's why we have a lot of kids on our wait list here in Redmond. And we're trying to find Redmond bigs to match.
We have to make a commitment.
My wife, we have 3 kids at home and she homeschools and she works full time. And I convinced her to sign up. So she's decided to know.
That's amazing. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Well, that is all we've got for you guys today. So go out and enjoy this beautiful warm day. See you next week.